red gum tree near the tip. Just thought I'd stop and have a look. Sure enough, nest of bees. Might be an adventure for tomorrow. Hello there, Jim from Country Contacts. It's a beautiful autumn day here in Canberra. I'm about to do a bee rescue, hopefully. I'm sitting on a red gum tree which fell down yesterday in the winds, and I'll show you why it fell down in a minute. My camera lady wasn't able to be here today, so this is going to be pretty scratchy, but maybe you'll find it interesting. I'll probably just include some still footage, and what I've bought, my setup is just an empty hive with a few frames, and I like to put a bit of a walkway down from a bit of a carpet. It's red, so I call it my red carpet. And hopefully with a lot of smoke I'll be able to push them out. Hopefully the queen wasn't crushed. They're fairly active, but they seem quiet, and I'll show you all that in a minute. I just wanted to introduce myself again. It's a beautiful autumn morning here in Canberra. We've had good rain, and everything's looking bonza. Anyway, that's enough about me. I'll just flip this around and show you the tree. So this is a red gum tree that blew down yesterday. As you can see, heavily infested with termites. So it was always going to fall. Unfortunately, it's fallen on a very busy road near the tip, what we call in Australia the tip, a garbage depot. I'm going to have to be careful because where the bees are is right up the very end. I'll walk there now. And that's right adjacent to the road, so I'm going to have to be careful for my own safety. This is where the bees are coming out at the moment, and I've brought my chainsaw. I'm going to make a few cuts and we'll see how we go. Okay, here's my setup. Got my red carpet down. Got an empty hive, a few bits and pieces that I think I'll need. Chainsaw there ready to go, and some very busy bees. Of course, some of them would be robber bees. Unfortunately, it's right beside the road, so that's not going to be pleasant. I'll probably have a few rubberneckers. Hope I don't cause an accident. Anyway, I've got to switch this off now and get into it. Okay, well, I'm just having a little break. I've done a little bit of cleaning up, cleaned up the work area, cleaned up the path to the hive. I'm hoping they'll do a walk later when I push them. I found what I think was their original entrance. I'll just pick it up. I think that was their original entrance. So I'll just lay that down near the entrance to the hive. So I'm just about to start my saw up, make a couple of cuts and see how big the hive is. They're quite gentle bees. They've been very cooperative so far. Well, I'm just having a little bit of a rest, a little bit of a breather. Always supposed to expect the unexpected. This is a big hive. I'll walk back over there in a minute. They're pretty good considering what I've done to them. They must know I'm trying to help. But I'll measure it. I'll do a bit of a measurement later, but it goes way down in that tree hollow. Heaps and heaps of honey stores. I've kept a little bit of brood, as you would expect in a situation like this. Lots of little nooks and crannies, hive beetles everywhere. So I'll be careful what I take home. I'll just take you over for a little bit of a look at where I'm up to. I've had to change the setup a bit, just by virtue of the fact that the log rolled in a certain direction. That's where most of the bees are, so I've moved my hive and my setup. They're not walking in yet. I think the queen's still in this big barrel, but it'll be clearer when I show you where I'm up to. So things have changed a little bit since you first looked at this. I've moved it off the road, it's a bit safer now. Made a few cuts, and then I got a little bit of ambitions and started cutting through honey. So the bees are all in that bit, all in this bit. And that's pretty much the end of the hive there. So that's where we're at. I've just done ripped the cut there. I'm just about to prise that open, and hopefully that will reveal the queen. I've got the little queen cage here ready to go, so fingers crossed. Well, I've just put the tape measure away, and it measured a bit over 2 meters, the cavity that they were working in. So about none of this. 4 foot long for you Americans. Heaps and heaps of honey stores, some fresh honey, but mostly old honey that they've put away in other years. So I'll take that home and feed it to my other bees. I might be able to scrounge a little bit. Let's walk you over here, and I've still got one cut to make. I've basically got them out of 3 sections. I still have this section here to cut. I'll do a lateral cut, prise it open. It's quite chalky. That was where the hive finished. That was the lowest point, and the highest point was this piece here. I've just sort of left it all exposed, hoping that I might see the queen or a bit of a cluster. Anyway, that's where I'm up to. I'm about to do a cut through there, and then should be beer o'clock. This is the last piece I prized apart. Just have a look at that for honey stores, and that's only part of it. So my way of thinking, there's nothing more fascinating than a wild hive. So there's the aftermath of my cuts. Tidied up a little bit for the ACT, and there's the last few. It's making their way into the bush. I'll push them up with a bit of smoke and put them on to you. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. This is just a quick recap on the tip bee story. Those bees are doing fine, although I didn't see the queen when I captured them. When I checked the hive a week later, she was there and laying. So I was only able to salvage one frame of brood out of that wild hive. All the rest was pretty messy. I'll show you in a minute. So I only ended up stringing up one frame. So I pulled out another frame of brood from a strong colony, and they're really kicking on now. They're really doing well. Still in a single box, but they're doing well. You might remember I had a big bag of basically contaminated honeycomb, because I don't reckon they've been in that tree for years. I think they've been in that tree for decades, because it was actually over 2 meters long, over 6 foot in imperial, and they'd actually stored honey that they hadn't used. Very strong colony, so there was a lot of old honey, a lot of old comb, and I brought just a little bit of it to show you. That's typically what you would see in a wild hive, and you might be able to see it's actually contaminated with bits of the tree. So I wasn't actually able to use very much of it. Termite casts there. That's how they operate, and that's why I actually dumped most of it, because there's so many places for hive beetles to hide in here. They just can't corral them. The other thing you'd be interested, out of the sticky mess that I did salvage, I made some bee burgers, and they love these. I mean, you might think bees love honey, but they, for whatever reason, they love these more than honey. And that's just some I prepared earlier. Bee burgers. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you subscribe. That's it for the tip bees. That's the recap on that. So thank you very much for watching.